All right, my friends, welcome to episode 333. Half of my name is Larry. I am a prof, and I am at Prof Plays Games on Twitter. Over there is Anthony the Dev at Summer Speak. How's it going?
It's fine. I'm currently being very amused by just having Reddit our place open and just watching it change.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. I kind of love it.
The coordination it takes to build any of that shit, unless someone is like hacking the thing where they can just do a bunch at one time.
No, it is coordinated and it's pretty
Everyone
crazy
gets
to
one
watch.
tile per 5 minutes, right?
Yep. I mean, I said in the Discord, the Astroneer logo's on it. And our Discord community kind of coordinated, being like, okay, this is where we're gonna place it. This is the pixel number it is, like coordinates,
Yeah.
and now just build it and protect it.
Yeah, you have to protect it when you're done.
Yep.
Fuck. For like, how long does this go?
I
never
don't
really
know
noticed this before.
because I can't remember the last time they did it. One, it didn't expand. I don't think it expanded as big as it has this time.
Okay.
Because I'm only checking in every once in a while. But it started at like a quarter of the size that it currently is.
Yeah, I saw it at the beginning. I was like, oh, this is pretty small. How are they gonna?
Nope.
Are they gonna like build over it?
They've doubled it. They've doubled it twice now.
Yeah. Wow. I saw the Ukrainian Trizub, which is the Ukrainian trident. I was very happy to see that. I'm not sure if it's still there, but it probably
There's a
is.
big Ukrainian thing over on the top left now.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, there it is. Our place, Ukraine. Come back alive.
Yeah.
Shit. Oh, there's a Trizub, Slavuk. Oh, God. Zelensky. Oh, the Ukraine thing exploded since I saw it last time.
It did. That was some coordinated effort there.
Holy shit. Oh, that's my favorite. Okay, I got to screenshot that shit.
If you're looking at it,
I am right now, yeah.
if you zoom in, get it however you want, on the bottom left is a kind of the share icon.
Let's see here. Bottom left is a... Oh, fuck, that thing got destroyed. The thing that had ratio on it earlier. Okay, so the share icon?
If you're...
I see a start icon.
Start icon?
In the very lower left, the Windows start icon kind of thing?
No, not of our place.
Oh.
Of the frame that it's in. The browse window. There's the close button. Do you have it fully expanded?
I'm zoomed in a bit. But I mean, I see the close button and the share button. Yeah.
So if you hit the share button, you can have it wherever you have it zoomed in.
Oh.
You can just save a screenshot of that.
Oh, thank
area.
you. Got it. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I've done it for a few things over the last few days.
Cool. Okay.
Which is crazy about this. I'm pretty sure this is just going to go away as well.
Oh, really? It just disappears into the ether?
I thought so. I mean, I thought last time this happened, it went away eventually.
I'm posting that to our Discord. Wow.
Yeah.
Silk and Silk Song's fucking there next to the Turkish flag.
Yep.
But it's so interesting because that lower left-hand corner that's just like obliterated now has like a French flag kind of thing.
Yeah. France is coordinated. It's a joke. I was looking in there. France, there was an Eiffel Tower, actually, where the black is now getting destroyed. France and Germany, in general, have been very coordinated with this. But I don't know. Like it's such a fascinating thing, honestly.
But in the just past like the Phoenix Suns logo, there's like the fucking like I don't know what painting that is, like a medieval classic painting or whatever.
Yep.
That's like fucking some great work, man.
There's a lot of just crazy good stuff going on, like coordinated, very coordinated efforts that just completely boggles my mind how people come together to do this.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there's fucking Fire Emblem.
Yeah, there's Fire Emblem. I've been seeing some Elden Ring stuff around.
Oh, there was the Eiffel Tower. That's right. That got obliterated. Oh, yep. Totally obliterated.
It is. Like there's coordinated efforts. Like sometime yesterday before it expanded, there was like, I don't know what they call it, but basically it's like a big black void with like a wolf head with bleeding eyes that like took over the top right. Like clearly they had a coordinate, and it's like called the Void Beast or something. I don't know. Like there's a whole weird in joke for the our place community with the thing. Like I don't know. It's a fascinating social experiment.
It is super cool. It's so cool. I just keep checking in on it, and I'm just like, I'm one dude. I have nothing to contribute to this. So
Protect
I
the
just keep
thing,
putting
change your
random
pixel
dots in
back.
people's shit.
Yeah, I don't do that. I don't try to create the chaos. I try to.
You are a kind person.
I am a kind person.
It's good stuff.
I just saw a Persona 5 thing on here somewhere. God damn it! I zoomed out and I lost it. But I saw the Phantom Thieves logo was
Nice.
in here. Okay.
Speaking of crazy shit, well, I guess this isn't crazy. It's long rumored. The rumors all had this fucking nailed, but PlayStation Plus is changing, and we're talking about it this week. Apparently, I've missed the boat on buying cheap PlayStation Now subs, which convert to the highest tier of this new shit. But basically, there's 3 tiers of PlayStation Plus moving forward, starting in June in Asia, and then rolling out to other markets, including North America after that. But I assume it's close behind in June. Maybe.
Yeah.
But there's PlayStation Plus Essential, PlayStation Plus Extra, and PlayStation Plus Premium. I think these names are dumb, but PlayStation Plus Essential is exactly what we have now. You get the 2 free games, discounts, cloud storage, and it's $60 a year. PlayStation Plus Extra, I'm just going to go through these really quick, then we can talk about them. PlayStation Plus Extra, same thing from Essential, and then adds up to 400 of the most enjoyable PS4 and PS5 games that you can download to play. And that's going to be $100 a year. And then PlayStation Plus Premium is everything from the first 2 tiers, and then adds 340 additional games, PS3 games streaming, and then a catalog of beloved classic games in streaming and download options from PS1, PS2, and PSP. And that is $119 a year. And then in the new extra and premium tiers, they plan to include titles that include Death Stranding, God of War, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Mortal Kombat 11, and Returnal. And then they're going to work with external partners to add more games. So those are the 3 tiers. What are your thoughts?
I'm keeping my current tier. I'm not blown away. I'm not upset by any of it. It just kind of was like, yeah, okay. I don't see. I mean, I get it. It's trying to compete with Game Pass, and I just think it's not a great competitor straight for Game Pass. And I don't think Sony has the capability of doing a direct competitor for Game Pass, really.
Yeah,
it's hard. It's hard for Sony to do it, to honestly switch to be very much focused like that, unless they truly are just going to go all in, like Microsoft has on like day and date. All of our games are included in this all the time, and we're going to pay people a lot of money to put to keep their games on Game Pass. Because oh my god, Microsoft probably spends more than PlayStation itself makes in just keeping games on Game Pass.
They had it just came out recently. They spent like $15 million, I think, to get Guardians of the Galaxy.
Probably that might sound about right. I'd have to see. That even seems a little cheap.
I thought I heard 15 million, but for me, it's not at all a Game Pass competitor. Not only because it doesn't have first party day and date, it feels like what PlayStation should have done a couple of years ago, where they just consolidated their PS Plus and PS Now into one thing. So they bought whatever the fuck it was called that did the streaming, and I don't think a lot of people are using PS Now. So it's like, here, just bundle it all together. And if you for that price, if for me, I haven't bought Returnal. I haven't bought Ratchet and Clank. If they're in this for the yearly, like just those 2 alone make the price worth it for me. Because I've always wanted to try PS Now, although I think it's not going to work well for me. The streaming's not going to work. We'll see. But Returnal's $50, Ratchet and Clank's $50, so that's $100 there. Plus PS Plus, which I pay for anyways. It makes sense. But nothing has said that Ratchet and Clank's going to be in here. And it's currently on sale. And I'm like, I've been waiting for it to go on sale. It keeps dropping to 50, and that's it. And I think I'll probably pick it up for that. But now, I don't know if it's going to be in this, and I might get the top tier. So I decided not to buy it on the sale. So they've lost a sale, at least temporarily. Although I might get the top tier. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no I don't think the streaming's going to be great. Never
Yep.
has been. Like PlayStation Now's been out for a while now, and it doesn't have raving reviews.
Right.
No streaming service has. It's not just PlayStation Now. Like, um, what was the Google one? Stadia. It
Stadia.
doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah, you have it. You could be using Stadia.
I mean,
Um,
I what had it for like 3 months or whatever it was.
yeah,
I never upped it up after that. Re-upped it after
yeah.
that.
But I mean, Microsoft has streaming stuff as well. None of it has ever been like, oh yeah, this is how I want to. People are like, I want to play games this way. It's like,
Right.
it works most of the time, but so the streaming stuff has never been a huge draw overall. So that's what keeps me from being bought in on the premium side of things.
Well, the premium, yeah, definitely the PS3 stream, but it has downloads for PS1, PS2, and PSP. Does that entice you at all?
No,
Because you played those games already, basically.
probably. And I'll be honest, I'll probably just emulate them.
Yeah.
They'll run better.
Right.
In the end. But really, I don't. It's kind of this whole thing where it does. I feel like they're doing this because Nintendo has had success with how they're doing their back catalog stuff on the Switch. But there is a part of me that's like, I would rather just buy the games that I want and not pay a
Yeah.
subscription than they just
Right.
go away if I don't feel like keeping the subscription. But we're also back to a thing of being like, wow, there's in the premium you get 400 PS4 up to 400 PS4 and PS5 games, and adds an additional 340. No one in their life is going to play all these games. Like, I already have more games than I'll ever be able to play.
I was about to say the same thing. I have a CD wallet of PS4 games, which I'm sure most of those are the games that I have. Like, I bought the ones that I wanted that I haven't even touched yet.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need this.
There is definitely a part, and this goes with Game Pass too, where I'm like, it's a great deal, but my God, like, how many games am I actually consuming in a year? And of the games that I consume, how many do I just want to consume and get rid of, or do I want to consume and actually like have some ownership over? Because like there are games where I'm like, I like Horizon Forbidden West. I wanted that game. Like, sure, let's say that we're in a Sony subscription and day one I get to play that. There's definitely a thing where I'm like, in my head, I'm like, sure, it's a better deal. I could just pay the subscription and have it. But I'm a weird person, and I actually like to own the games that I really enjoy. Because nothing in here on a subscription service, you don't own any of it. You are buying a license to play. It's the same as, honestly, it's worse than digital buying it. In some ways.
Right, because you just have a limited window of access to it.
So it's always been a hard thing. So it's like, okay, of the games I'm not like excited for and I know I want to buy, how many other games are there that I'm like, will I get to overall? Because I'd use this service, and I think a lot of people use Game Pass and stuff as just window shopping in a lot of ways, and they'll quickly browse. And actually, for the data that we've seen, people just jump through games a lot. Like, that's just what they do. They don't settle down on anything. They just go through the game. So it's a different mindset.
Well, it's kind of the thing that I've been thinking about as well. I mean, beyond the comment that's true for me as well, I have, between all the consoles, like 2,000 games, probably.
Yeah.
I've, last year probably beat 4. This year I beat Horizon, and then for the rest of the fucking year, I'm going to be playing Elden Ring.
Correct.
So I just needed 2 games this year, and then obviously the Nintendo games that come out, I end up buying most of the first party because I play with those with my daughter or my family. So that's our family gaming time. So, I have Game Pass. I have not touched Game Pass in a year, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I've either been making music or been playing games that I own. I just don't have time to play through. Like, I would love to play Yakuza Like a Dragon. I would love to play, Persona 5 Royal. But I just don't. And when I do have time to play games, if I'm done with Elden Ring, I'll play Persona 5 Royal. And that'll be 130 hours or whatever.
Yep.
And that will take me for the rest of the year. I don't have that kind of time. I don't consume games like that. Even when I was playing at my height, I was beating 12 games a year or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's easily I can afford to buy those 12 games, and most of them are older games anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I canceled my PC Game Pass a while ago. I used it, but that was when it was $1 a month, and whenever that deal expired, and then became $10 a month, I think.
Yes, right.
And I was like, nah, it's not worth it. It's fine. I'm not playing enough to make it worth it. Which is probably not what Microsoft wants. They want more like you, where just keep the subscription around. I'll play something on it every once in a while.
Well, the only reason I have it is because I bought a year of Game Pass.
I see.
When I had a deal, so I'm not paying monthly. It was just I had a year, so I literally have it, but I'm not re-upping when I'm done.
So it's definitely I haven't really been tempted. The first time I might be tempted is this fall with Starfield, maybe.
Oh, right.
But then there's also a thing of that's another game where I'm might just want to own that one.
Yeah.
And not feel like if I don't keep my subscription up, I can't play it, or I have to buy it later. I want to buy it through Steam, maybe, because I know it'll be on Steam as well.
The other thing that's strange for me with Game Pass specifically is that Game Pass, obviously super tied to Xbox, but also partially to PC. The ecosystem where I play games is PlayStation or the Switch.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. I play on my PC. I have a 3060. I could play whatever. I only play Rocket League. I don't really game on my PC. So just I don't know. If I want to play a game, I'm just drawn to the ecosystems that I like for some reason. Even though the games on Xbox are great, but
yeah. So with the PlayStation one, and actually I think this is true for Xbox as well. I would really like them to start, I don't know, reducing the number of tiers in general. Xbox, I hear this, Sony has 3 tiers here. I'm okay. Yeah. Part of me is they're trying to get a bit more money. Part of me is also you should have just had a $10 and a $15 tier.
I agree.
The $10 tier, the $10 tier is would be the extra, currently the PlayStation Plus extra tier. Just bundle those games in to the essential tier, the 400 PS4 and PS5 games.
Yep.
Don't use this as a way to effectively try to squeak out more money. Right. But I think you'll just get more people with PlayStation Plus in general, and then have a tier that's PlayStation Plus with streaming, basically. Microsoft could also do something similar. Probably wouldn't be a bad thing on its... I brought this up in Discord, and I brought up in my work Slack, because people are like, man, 3 tiers. And I'm like, have you truly looked at how Xbox handles their Game Pass and Xbox Live? Because it's dumb. Because there's Xbox Live with Gold is the base one. It's $10 a month. That's what allows. That's Xbox Live. It allows you to play multiplayer games. That gets you your free games per month. Very much effectively the same thing as PlayStation Plus was. PlayStation Plus was modeled after Xbox Live with Gold. Then there is Game Pass for console, which is $10 a month, but does not include Xbox Live. So you can pay $10 a month, so you can't do all the multiplayer stuff. You don't get the free games. You don't get all the benefits of Xbox Live. Then they have Game Pass for PC, which is separate from Game Pass for console. So if you want it on PC, you need that. But that doesn't include Xbox Live either. I don't know if you necessarily want that on PC or anything, but it's another separate thing. Then you have Game Pass Ultimate, which is actually the thing that they should just be letting just drive everyone to all the time.
Right.
Which is everything below that I just mentioned for $15 a month.
Yep.
I think if they consolidate it should just be Xbox Game Pass Ultimate or Xbox Live with Gold. Those should be the 2 tiers. $10, $15, done.
Same thing with PlayStation. Just make it simpler. I feel like they're just trying to I don't know. People are either going to get the bottom one or the top one and not get the middle one.
No one ever gets the middle one. I'll be honest.
Exactly. So that's why it drives, because if they only had the one for 60 or the one for 120, be like, well, that's such a huge price difference. But because the middle one, it doesn't look like it's that much of a price difference. And you're like, oh, I'll get it for 100. Oh, for $20 more, I could just get, it's that fucking advertising bullshit.
It is. And it totally is done because of that. And yep. I see through it.
You know what you're doing.
I don't really like it. I would like them both to consolidate.
But it makes them more money. So
it does. That's their goal. And that's what it's coming to. And yeah, this is definitely gonna make PlayStation more money, I would think. I think there's gonna be a lot of people that are just gonna go to that premium one. I don't really feel like effectively doubling how much I pay a year. To play it for games. I don't even know what they're gonna be right now. So
that's the thing that sucks the most about this for me is like, oh, you're gonna have 400 games here, you're gonna have 340 here, and here are like 5 examples. Like, what the fuck?
This is for investor because they have investment calls this coming week. That's why they put this out.
Got it.
So that all the investors can be excited for the fact that they are going to make more money off of their subscriptions because everyone loves a subscription now.
Yes, that is very fucking true. We were, San Diego has a new women's soccer team, the Wave, or Wave FC.
Okay.
You can only watch it online with Paramount Plus, and it's like, what the fuck? I had to get another streaming service to watch this fucking shit.
Sake.
So I did.
God.
I was just like, how many?
Here's the thing. Here's my challenge to you. You got that one. You have to cancel another one.
Well, I have done that actually. Not in this specific case, but when I added YouTube Premium, I canceled something.
That is a challenge I hold to myself. If I start a new subscription, I have to cancel one of my other ones. And if I'm unwilling to cancel one of my other ones, then this one's not worth it.
Yes, right. That's really good. I mean, we have too many.
I kind of feel like I'm pushing up to that. Or if I didn't hold myself to that rule, I'd have way too many because that's just life right now.
Yep.
Not across even media and TV. It's like subscriptions to Office to do my stuff, subscriptions to Adobe for Photoshop or anything like that. Thank God work pays for that.
I was say all those things I have through work. Thank God. So.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. I'm just like, can I just buy something straight up anymore? Do I have to have subscriptions all the time?
No, because people forget to unsubscribe and keep being paid. Paying for no reason. It's so fragmented. Like Hulu has certain things that Netflix doesn't have.
Sure.
And then, we have Netflix, we have fucking Hulu, we have Disney Plus, Paramount Plus now. I have YouTube Premium because I, did the fucking trial and I use YouTube all the time when I'm working, and not having ads is really nice.
And I assume you have Apple TV.
Yeah.
Apple Plus and all that stuff.
There's another one. Yep. I have Apple Plus because I got the 6-month, thing with PS5. Which we really like, actually, so we're going to keep it. So, good job. It worked.
Yeah, there's just a lot. And so, yes, Sony rolling out new plans. It was nice that it was simple before, but no longer simple.
One plan. Yeah, exactly. Well, I guess they had two. They had PS Now. But...
Yeah, which was its own separate thing.
That I could ignore.
Yep. Not anymore. So I don't know. I think this is all just done, like I said, for investors. There'll be, we're in April, so probably in May, we'll actually see lists of games. I guess the thing is, the PS Now games. Like, you can go look up PS Now right now, and I'm like, oh, these are the games that they're talking about.
That must include the 400 PS4 and PS5 games, right? Because you can PS Now has PS4 games.
It
guess
does. I would assume anything on PS Now could be likely a downloadable PS4 game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because PS Now has PS4 downloadable games. It has for a while, so that's no surprises. And any PS4 game that I was super interested in, I already bought. I fucking have a ton, so I'm good. I'm good. I should not buy anything. I should keep my regular PS Plus. I will not use the premium.
Yeah.
But they'll have like one obscure PSP game that people are so excited about, and this is the best way to play it, or some shit that people will.
It will not be the best way to play it. I guarantee it.
Well, you were talking on Discord about how annoying emulators are with getting.
It's
you spend
true.
more time
You
debugging.
do have to work debugging to get it. Once they work, it's great. It's just you have to put the upfront time in to figure out all the dumb settings. Yeah, that's true. Maybe these will run better there. They'll just be able to download and run.
Maybe. I mean, Nintendo does. I like how Nintendo does the NES and SNES. Even though they're so slow with rolling shit out, like they have like special versions, like different save states that they put into there. That's kind of cool. It's a nice touch.
I am not thinking that Sony is going to do that level of care.
No, but if they did, that'd be really cool. That'd be like an add-on, you know? Like, oh, here, whatever fucking game from PS4. Like, here, start God of War, you know, with all the everythings, you know, whatever. I don't know. It's a cool thing Nintendo does for that. And it's easy to do with save states, you know, which that doesn't exist for PS Now, the save states, as far as I know. So.
No, and that's the thing when they talk about the PlayStation, PS2, and PSP downloadable ones. They have to be talking emulators at this point, like their own in-house emulator.
Yeah.
And I don't see why it couldn't have save states, but they're not talking about any of that. So, but currently I'm going with it. It's going to be pure bare bones kind of emulation there.
Yep.
It will emulate memory cards and just run the game. No Vita though. What's up with that?
I thought the same fucking thing. PSP? No Vita? What the fuck? Man, this PlayStation wants to forget about the Vita so hard.
I mean, I've still looked at getting a Vita. Is the thing. There's been times where I'm like, I could just get a Vita. Yeah, I mean, it plays all the PSP games as well. So,
yes, exactly. Correct.
To be honest, because I'm like, God, I could just get a Vita and I could get War of the Lions and call it good. That's all that system has to be. It only has to play War of the Lions. That's it. They go for a fair amount of money though, so they've held their value.
Yep, I'm happy that I have one, even though I play it irregularly. Although related, people are starting to dig into like buying Wii U's because the shop's going offline and they're getting rare to find. Where the fuck is my Wii U? It was in this garage, hooked up to the TV, so we were playing Yoshi's Woolly World or whatever. I don't know where it is. I can't find it. It was hooked up to the TV. Now it's not.
What were the games you couldn't find for years?
Oh my God. Mario Odyssey, Mario Rabbids, and the comic RPG. Fuck. That's really good. Yeah. 2 years I couldn't find those fucking cards. So you'll
find your Wii U. It's around somewhere.
I think someone broke into my garage, ignored my really expensive computer, ignored the TV,
ignored the guitars. Any guitars that's in that?
No guitars in the garage. No, they wouldn't. That's good. They wouldn't last in the garage because of humidity and whatever else. And they took my Wii U. They knew what they were doing.
There you go.
That's my theory right now. It's fucking. I don't know where it is. It's got to be in here. It's got to be somewhere in the fucking house.
It's in a box somewhere in storage.
Yes, exactly.
Because you'll probably put it away, being like, I'm not going to use this thing anytime soon. I'm like, God damn it! I know I returned that thing to you years ago.
Oh, you did? No, I hooked it up. I hooked up to play with my daughter in the garage. We fucking played Wind Waker twice.
Oh, true.
It's my Wind Waker machine. My daughter wanted to play Wind Waker for the third time. I was like, great, let me get the Wii. What the fuck is the Wii U? So that's currently a conversation my daughter and I are having. She doesn't say where the fuck is the Wii U, but she might as well be saying that. Daddy, you failed me.
So yeah. We'll see. I feel like we got another month, and then we'll find out a lot of details on this. Specifically, I don't think they're going to throw games up there that are going to make me be like, oh, I need the premium because I want to play this 20-year-old game that I haven't already played. That's the key part. I've probably already played it. I probably own it.
Yep. And for me, it's like, okay, yeah, that new shiny looks cool, but I have 12 shinies at my home that I are like next in line, and fuck, I will seriously not finish Elden Ring until the end of the year. I'm 20 hours in and I've only explored like a 10th of Limgrave. So I'm in that fucking place. what was it called? Siaphora River or
Yeah,
whatever.
Siaphora River Well.
Yeah, like a month ago or so when you switched over and you were like, I went somewhere and all of a sudden there was an elevator and it just kept going down and down and down and down and down. Was this the one you were talking about?
Yep.
Oh my god. It just kept going down and down and down and it's like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden it's just like expansive and open. It's like, where am I? And then you like slowly like come back up. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm gonna play that. I haven't played in a week. I'm gonna play that after the podcast.
Nice.
But just like, oh, okay, so here's a vertical slice, literally going down, and then the map opens up because I'm underground and it's a new map.
Yep.
And I don't know how big it is, but I went down a long way. So I don't know, it just seems like a shaft of some kind that you keep going up eventually. So
yeah, so I mean this is a great transition to what we're playing. You haven't played anything for the week, probably, or very little.
I haven't played anything because of spring break and we went on vacation. I played Mario Party with my family a few times, and it would be very boring to relay that. So why don't you tell us what you've been playing?
Only Elden Ring.
Nice. They're fucking This is not New Game Plus, right? This is just a new playthrough.
Nope, new playthrough. I am 60 hours in. I don't know. We talked about it last week. The game is amazing. I don't know. I'm playing it and just being like, wow, I can't believe that I'm just playing this game again. Straight up.
And does it feel new?
Not completely new, but I'm finding new things still.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Yeah.
I've done a ton of stuff I didn't do the first time through, that I just never noticed or found. But I'm also generally being faster at it in general.
Yeah.
Like where I'm at now, I'm pretty close to end game. So I can move through that stuff faster, but it's also because since I'm moving through that stuff faster, I'm finding all new things to explore that I hadn't before. Be like, oh, I never went to this part of the map. What's over here? Of course there's things, because there's always something.
Yeah, right.
And I just sit there and being like, oh my god, I just don't know how they made this game. I do not understand how they made this much content. I want to see their editor. I want to see how they could create this world in this much density to the whole thing. But yeah, it's been exceptional. I did get pretty frustrated with today. That's the thing, playing through it a second time, there's definitely where I'm starting to get, like, I love the game, but I'm starting to find the, like, little nitpicky things with certain bosses where I'm like, I don't like this fight in general. There's two fights so far in the game that I just don't like.
Because they feel unfair or something different?
Not unfair, but they feel very luck-based in a lot of ways. A little bit too much RNG. Like, I remember one of the... I will say that the actual final boss, I don't particularly like. So 3. And the one thing is, like, I beat the game, but when it came down to it, like, I got good with part of the fight, and that was fine, but then the latter half of the fight just felt like, well, I won because I got lucky. Like, the moves it chose and stuff just gave me the opportunities to get damage in, but if it had done X, Y, and Z, or done this other attack it can do, there's no way I would have won.
I felt the same way when I played Margit. I faced Margit 5 times. The first 4 times, his moveset felt to me way more aggressive than the 5th time. And the 5th time, I was able to beat him because he wasn't as aggressive. I don't know if that's actually what happened, but it's what it felt like.
I mean, I don't know. I never felt like Margit was always aggressive with me. Right. I just had to learn it, dodging and stuff. My favorite fight in the game was the woman that's on, like, the collector's edition cover. Completely optional boss. And that was, like, the statue in the collector's edition. Woman
What's
wearing,
her name?
like,
is it Millennia?
Yeah.
Melina or something like that?
Melina.
No. Melina, yeah.
Yeah, I think, and she's, like, probably, to me, one of the hardest fights in the entire game, but a very fun fight. Yeah. And that fight felt really good. Like, she's consistently doing the same kind of attacks. So, like, I never felt like I got lucky with her. I beat it because, well, I just learned the fight.
Right.
And learned how to dodge her attacks and, like, read the attacks. The fights that I'm talking about is just like, yeah, I know what they're doing, and it's so random and quick. I can't. And a lot of times it's also due to size, so it's really hard to keep them on screen. So to see what attacks they're doing. So there's just a few that I'm just like, these are grand, like huge spectacle fights, but they don't make for good fights in the mechanics of the system going on. I'll get through it. I'm very close to being the one that's frustrating me right now.
This is unrelated, I think, but does playing this game, going through the second time and kind of like fiending maybe for like some of those kind of more difficult encounters that are fun and feel fair, does Hollow Knight pop back into your mind at all as wanting to get back to that? I know it's a different kind of game, but no?
Like the same thing. People ask me like, oh, like my other friends still, they're like, you're playing this again? Are you going to go play Bloodborne? And I'm like, nope, don't care. I have zero interest going back. Nope. I don't want to play Dark Souls. Like, this doesn't make me feel like I'm like, oh, I want to go play Hollow Knight again. It's like, no, I played enough Hollow Knight. I'm good. Yeah. I'm sure there's more to experience in it, but I don't really feel like going back to it. Beyond, it's not just the combat and stuff in this game. Like, Elden Ring just hits very perfectly for the exploration standpoint from me. Like, that big... It is honestly... It has tough combat, fine. Take even out the tough combat, it's just a really kick-ass RPG.
Yeah, right.
Like, I'm having a really good time with the exploration aspect side of this game. All the time. I like how it controls. I like riding through the forests and the different biomes, finding new things, constantly being surprised either by enemies or views, like going down that well when it opens up. And yeah, there's a lot of underground, and there's plenty of times the underground just blew my mind.
So there's more than just this one, obviously. Duh.
Yeah, there's more underground.
Dang, this one alone is just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, and you could just pass this well and never do this, I assume.
It's all completely optional. You don't have to do any of that stuff down there. There's a lot of purely optional stuff in the game. But I mean, it's just fun to explore and to go through it. So I don't know. The other games in the Souls series and stuff just never gave me the experience that I'm getting from Elden Ring, because they never had that. Yeah. That really had. They're kind of big and they had some exploration, but it was still you're funneled through a story. Like, no, this is when people are saying this is like Skyrim with better combat. I'm like, yes, that's what I want. This is Breath of the Wild with better combat and a deep RPG on top of it.
Yeah, it makes me want to go back to Breath of the Wild, to be honest, because I haven't had this. It feels like, and this is a weird way to say it, but like it feels like Christmas. Every corner I turn, like I'm opening a new present that I didn't know what was inside, and it's just like, oh, it's just that dopamine rush is just constant, and not because of any sort of gotcha mechanics, but just like what's around the corner. Yeah, and like I'm just like tense and waiting. Like I'm in this well place, and right now it's just a bunch of slow zombies, but I know something's coming. And it's just the excitement of figuring out what it is. And being able to get there. Like this fucking, I ran into this Everjail that I posted the video or whatever I told you guys about. And I was just like, I'm gonna beat this fucking thing. It like takes away all your whatever. It takes away your summoning and shit. Your spirit ashes. So you're just, it's just combat.
It's a one-on-one.
Yep. And I was like, I'm going to do it. And I beat my head against it 17 times in a row. And I was like, you know what? I'm almost there. I'm just going to sleep on it. I know tomorrow when I come back, I'm going to beat him. And I beat him in 3 times. Like, yep. You just sleep on it and you figure it out. And I felt super fucking accomplished, and just that rush. And that's just in one like tiny part of the map. And there's so many more like parts of the map. Like near that area, there's this fucking, the walking mausoleum. I knocked down and got in, and I was like, I don't even know what the fuck to do in here. I don't think I can do anything in here yet, but okay, I know it's here. And there's like another mystery there.
I mean, God, it was like my first playthrough was probably like halfway through my playthrough before I realized you could get those things to like drop down.
Oh yeah, right.
And then I figured that out, and I was like, oh my God. And then I started going back through the map, like where have I seen these before? I got to get them all down on the ground, see what's. And I had progressed far enough. I knew what they did at that point.
Aha.
Like I got in, I was like, oh, I see what you do. This is really cool.
It was cool, like being near the Everjail, that down in Weeping Peninsula, and you just hear these bells. I'm like, first of all, the mystery is like, what the fuck are the bells? And then you fall, and you're like, oh, what the fuck is that? Oh, can I get up there? Oh, I'm gonna hack at it. Oh, I'm knocking shit off its feet. Okay, it goes down. Great. Okay, how do I get up it? Oh, now I'm in it. What does it do? There's like 7 layers of mystery, and there's like all different degrees. Like some big mystery, some like small things, but just all engaging. Oof, it's just a masterclass in my view, and I'm only 18 hours in. I feel like such a virgin.
I mean, to me, I'm like, I can't remember the last game where I just played it again. Took a week off and then was like, okay, I'm just going to play the same game again. And I'm not tired of it. I am not. I'm like, I'm not going to play again tonight because I tend to just chill out after we record. And I don't need this thing would get me.
That's not chill.
No. But I know tomorrow I'm going to be playing it.
I'm like, thinking back to the history of the podcast. Like, have you ever done that? Persona 5, you went back to Royal later, but that was not
later. That was years later. I know. I was thinking in my head, I'm like, the last game that I thought I did this with was Mass Effect 2, as far as I can remember. I beat Mass Effect 2, and I immediately started it again. I didn't finish it the second time. Like, I got probably 3/4 of the way through a second playthrough, because I just wanted to experience it again. So I'm just like, if I'm doing that, then this game is doing something right. Which for me it is the fact of being like, one, I could New Game Plus it, but I actually like the feeling of having to search out the items I want, not just have them already. Like, part of my enjoyment of the game isn't just having all the items available for me so I can play through the game again with everything I've collected. It's like, no, I want to start small again. And this time I have the knowledge of where certain things are.
Right.
So how am I going to change how I play through this game this time? Because I'm going to do this. I chose a different type of build, and I'm like, okay, if I'm going to do that build, well, I know that there's these weapons now, these incantations, this armor set. Okay, how can I get that? And that was a fun kind of puzzle to solve, and how I have to progress through the game, what stuff I should keep to a certain level until I unlock certain chunks of the map. And so that just keeps driving me forward, as opposed to, oh, I'm just repeating the same thing.
Right. Well, and the idea of beating it in a different order and like, I don't know, just like carving a totally different path through the game makes it feel such a different experience. Like, I'm thinking about Horizon, where, obviously you could do like different side quests and whatever else. But the main quests, kind of progress in the same order, and it just it is way more linear, which is not a knock against it. I love that fucking game, but man, there's something about, if I were to replay it, it would kind of feel like the same beats again.
Yeah, you're just playing through the same beats, the same thing, and that's fine. I mean, that's what like very story-driven games are, and they can tell some great stories, but you play it again, you get the same story again. And you kind of get the same story with Elden Ring, but the thing is, even the story is removed somewhat from the gameplay. And I think that's actually, it's the way FromSoft has always done their stories, but I think it works really well for the exploration here. There are story beats and story and lore things that I'm picking up on this playthrough that I didn't on the first playthrough. Like, I'm piecing parts together, being like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't know about that. Oh, they talk about the 2 fingers. There's the 3 fingers.
Right.
Do you know that? There's the whole thing about the 3 fingers, which is different than the 2 fingers, and the followers of these 2 different, basically, religions. And I'm starting to understand and like read stuff, and I'm like, oh, I actually kind of understand what's going on in this world a bit more.
When I have very cursory knowledge of 3 fingers, a little bit more about 2 fingers, but knowing it came from Martin, I assume, like, is this any sort of like connection to like the hand of the king from the Game of Thrones or a Song of Ice and Fire?
Not really, although hands do play a big role throughout. Like, I mean, fingers and hands are They use a lot of visual motifs for those things throughout the game.
Right. I'm just wondering if that was like in his head in any way.
Maybe.
Like it's not like a it's not like a direct connection. It's just in my fucking head canon. It's like fucking Westeros, like many generations later, just completely fucking decimated and overrun with monsters or whatever. Although I'm also playing with a character. I'm Geraltu. I like fucking up the fucking monster hunter from The Witcher in there. So,
I don't know. I see Martin in there in the way that there's a deep family tree going on. Like all these like bosses and stuff that you're fighting they're related to each other. Like there's a lot of lore behind like who they are, the relations to the other ones, eldest, youngest, marriages and like affairs going on. Like that's the stuff that I see Martin in throughout. And dragon, there's like all the dragon stuff.
Yes,
like,
right.
So you can't get away from it. It has his fingerprints of the stuff that he really enjoys in here. Just taken to a really bizarre place by the FromSoft team and Miyazaki.
Well, and that marriage is what I like, because like Bloodborne, I think I would like to go back and check it out again. Although I think Demon's Souls is more my speed because of the medieval castle kind of knightly whatever. Bloodborne is just kind of weird and creepy to me.
It is.
But that weird and creepy bent to like the Martin mythos or whatever is cool. I just every turn I see, like a Martin thing turn on its head, and I think that's really interesting. So that's like another layer of like cool shit around the corner. There's just we're gonna be talking about this fucking game all year, just because there's so much nuance to it.
I mean, right now it is game of the year for me. It's up to something else to beat it, and I don't know what's coming out this year to beat it, since Breath of the Wild sequel is kicked till next year. So
we didn't talk about that. Yep, it got delayed, but it's out. Obviously. Yep.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
No.
And I think Nintendo, you can take as much time as you want on it. Like, if you feel like it needs more time, give it more time. I think you could probably give it a whole another couple years and no one would care.
Exactly. Yep.
The only key thing that actually, for me, when that got delayed, I was like, okay, the new Nintendo Switch is now delayed until spring 2023.
You think it's going to launch with the new Nintendo Switch?
If there's going to be a new hardware, it's launching with it.
Okay. Yeah.
And so that it's just my joke of being like, cool, that's what this announcement has told me.
What it doesn't tell me this. What I hope is that the Wind Waker whatever coming on the Switch is real, and like there's a space carved out for it now.
Yeah.
Because it didn't make sense to come out in the year that Breath of the Wild was coming out. But if it's not coming out, like, a late summer, early fall release for Wind Waker and Twilight Princess or whatever, like, give me.
Do it.
Please, especially since someone is absconded with my Wii U. I fucking need Wind Waker again. God damn it. My daughter and I drew Baby Link today, and when the artist was drawing Baby Link, he called it Toon Link, obviously, because it's fucking Toon Link. And my daughter was like, his name is Toon Link? I was like, yeah, I tried to tell you that years ago, but you were not having it. She's like, I'm still gonna call him Baby Link. All right, that's fine.
You're like, no, that's cool. That's
totally.
Oh no, first betrayal.
Exactly. She just looked like she had been lied to. It was like the person who told this lie was you. Sorry. I know that you were 2 when this started, and you're 4 now.
You let me still continue the lie. How dare you?
Yes, I know. We all call him Baby Link. Big part of the household. Baby Link and Taylor Hawkins are like the 2 most important people in the house that are not us 3. So,
rest in peace, Taylor Hawkins.
Rest in peace, Taylor Hawkins. It's been rough. Rough. I think I've cried multiple times a day thinking about that and talking to my daughter about it and all. Whatever. It's a big deal for us.
Yeah.
Not only because he's the drummer of my favorite band and now my daughter's favorite band, because that's how that works, but he's in like every fucking story we tell for like the last year. Taylor Hawkins sitting on a pile of tortillas playing the drums. Taylor Hawkins getting eaten by waffles. It's been a whole thing. It's like the fucking Taylor Hawkins extended universe or whatever.
There you go.
Oh man, it's been a trip, and then boy,
yeah,
what a gut punch.
It really is. I feel for you, and I especially feel for Dave
family
Grohl and all this.
Yeah, Dave Grohl,
as well.
dude.
I can't imagine. Like, him opening up about what it was like when Cobain died and killed
Yeah,
himself, and like how much that really upset him. I'm like, oh boy, this this can't be easy at all.
well, he just dug it up for the whole book and the book tour and whatever
Uh-huh.
else. And then he and Kurt were good friends for 3 to 4 years at
Yeah.
most. He's been friends with Taylor Hawkins for 25 fucking years.
Yeah.
That's just devastating.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're taking this
Yeah.
on a sour
On
note,
a,
but
yeah.
rest in peace for sure, Taylor Hawkins. Also, fuck Vladimir Putin and the Russians, but Russian soldiers, I should say. But that's another podcast as well.
It is. Go Ukraine. Go Ukraine.
Yeah, Slava Ukraini. But boy, there's been some real bad shit happening in the past couple of days, dude. Like fucking Nazi level shit.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I could talk for a long time about that, so I won't. This is episode 333. If you like our podcast, please stick around until we get to podcast 666, and we'll see what we're going to do then in another 7-8 years. If you like us, rate us on your podcast service of choice, and tell a friend or two, and we will be back next week where we shall be talking about boy, I don't know what's coming up this week. Something fun, I'm sure.
Not a clue.
Yeah. All right, folks. We'll see you next week.
Later, everyone.